For the Unit 3 Part 1 Assessment Review, you see here in the beginning you are given a chart with formulas on it, so you could refer back to this chart at any point in the test. So for number 1, 2, and 3, we have to find the slope of a line. So right here, this formula we were given, we could use it to help us with 1 and 2, and then rise over run can help us with number 3. So first I would label my points, x1, y1, x2, and y2. And when I set up the formula, I do a fraction bar for division, and I put the 2 minus signs in here. And that's just based off of this formula right here. So the first thing I have is a y2, and that is negative 3. So I plug that in here. And then it says y1, which is negative 2. But anytime that you have that double negative, you make it a positive. Then for x2, we have 5, and x1 is 1. So to mathematically figure this out, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1, and 5 minus 1 is 4. Negative 1/4 cannot reduce, so my slope is negative 1/4. Okay, so number 2, same thing. Go ahead and label your 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. I want to plug those into the formula here. So y2 is negative 4. y1 is also negative 4, making this a plus. And then x2 is 5. x1 is negative 4, making that a plus again. So negative 4 plus 4 is 0. 5 plus 4 is 9. And 0 divided by 9 is 0. Okay, for number 3, we were going to use the rise over run idea. But if you notice, like the first point I come to on the left is this point here. I can't rise to get to here, so I'm going to have to fall. And I'm going to fall 1, 2, and run 1. So my slope is negative 2 over 1, but that does reduce or divide to be negative 2. Okay, for number 4, draw an example of a line that has each of the given slopes. So if you have a negative slope, your line has to fall. So I'm just going to pick some points, and I'm going to draw a line that is falling from left to right. For a 0 slope, that's when you go left to right. It's a horizontal line. Now, if the test asked you for a positive slope, then you would be going upwards from left to right. If it was undefined instead of 0, then you would have a line that's going up and down. Okay, vertical line. Okay, now on the back we have mini graph problems. So it's all going to be broken down by the different formulas you learned. So for the first one, number 6, it says graph each equation. If you look at all 4 of these are SIF, which is slope-intercept form. Okay, if you have forgotten, you could always go back and check out the formula over here. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So for all of these, I want to label my m and my b, and I begin on the y-axis with the negative 2. So y-axis at negative 2, and then I'm going to go up 3 and right 1. Up 3, right 1, and then the same thing but going backwards, so I'm going to go down 3 and left 1. Make sure you draw a line covering the graph and you have arrows on both sides. Okay, so number 7, again, we're going to identify m and b. So m is in front of x, make it a fraction. B, we start at the y-axis. And then I'm going to go down 2. So negative 2 means down 2, but the 1 is positive, so I'm going to the right. And I keep going. So down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. Then go back to the 2. And we're going to go up to left 1. Okay, for number 8, our slope is 1/3, and our y-intercept is -2. So again, I'm going to start at the -2 on the y-axis. We're going to go up 1 and right 3. We also can do the opposite of that, so we can go down 1, left 3. We see we covered the whole graph. We have arrows on our line. Okay, so the last one for slope-intercept form here would be -1/3 is m, b is -3. I'm going to start at -3. Okay, -1 means go down 1. The 3 is positive, so we're going to go to the right 3. Down, and then right 3. Up 1, left 3. Up 1, left 3. Alright, so for 10 and 11, I call this the H and V. So either they're horizontal lines or they're vertical lines. So for y equals -2, we're going to the y-axis, put a point at the -2, and remember you draw the opposite of the axis. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line. For 11, I go to the x-axis and put a point at 3. And I draw opposite of the x, which would be a vertical line. Okay. For number 12, this is your point slope form. Again, you can always refer to the front of the paper for the formula. But I see that my m is in the middle. And your point would be x and y. So this would be a +2, and this would be a +4. And that's x and your y. So you have to flip around your numbers, and you have to change your signs. So I start at 2, 4. So that's my starting point. And then I'm going to go down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1. And I can't go up and over. It won't fit on the graph. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that line. Okay, for number 13, we have the slope 1/3 in the middle. And our point, x and y. So here's our x, but remember we do the opposite, so that's a -5. And our 2 is a -2, it's opposite again, so x and y. So again, start here with this point and go -5, -2, and then you go up 1, right 3. And we can't go down 1, left 3 because it'll be off the graph. So we go ahead and we can connect that. Okay. Then for number 14 and 15, these two are our standard form problems. Okay, the formula reads as ax plus by equals c, but you have to think of this as like the cover-up method. Meaning, if I want to find x, I cover up the y. And so here, x equals 6. And if I cover up the x, I've got +2y equals 6. So for this one, I can't solve it. It's already done. So x equals 6. I put a point right here on 6 on x. But then for the 2y equals 6, we can divide both sides by 2. And y is 3. So I put my point here at 3 on the y. And then you just connect those 2 points. Again, covering the whole graph. Okay, 15, we're going to also cover up. So cover up the y, and we have -3x equals 6, and y equals 6. So I covered up the x. So here, if I divide by -3, we get x is negative 2. Here we get y equals 6. So for x equals negative 2, put a point. For y equals 6, put a point here. And then we connect these two points to make a line.